Have you ever thought about what lies beneath our roads? In this video, we look into the interesting paths of the world's oldest roads. What's so important about these old paths? We'll look into these amazing paths and find the answer to the question, which ancient road has had the most significant effect on our world? So let's move on to number 10. Mexico and Spain's El Camino Real. A system of roadways known as El Camino Real, or the Royal Road, links Spanish missions, presidios, and communities across Spain and her former possessions in the Americas. El Camino Real de Tierra Adentro, which connected Mexico City with San Juan Pueblo, New Mexico, is one of the most well-known sections. El Camino Real still has many sections in existence today in Mexico, Spain, and the southern United States. El Camino Real, which links the 21 Spanish missions in California, for instance, enables visitors to learn about the rich historical and cultural legacy of the area. Number 9. United Kingdom's Watling Street. The Romans paved Watling Street, an old English trackway that was once utilized by the Britons. It was an important part of the Roman Britain's infrastructure, extending from the coast of Kent through London and up to Wroxeter in Shropshire. A large portion of Watling Street is now included in the A2 and A5 highways. In addition to seeing historical sites and imagining the legions that formerly marched along this path, influencing the history of Britain, travelers can tour portions of the original Roman road. Number 8. The Middle East King's Highway. An old trade route known as the King's Highway passes across Egypt, Sinai, Jordan, and Syria today. It was an important route for trade and pilgrimage, mentioned in the Bible and used by several civilizations, such as the Roman and Nabatean ones. The Jordanian portion of the King's Highway is now a well-traveled tourist road providing access to ancient and historical places including Wadi Mujib, Madaba, and Petra. Traveling this route gives one a strong sense of historical connection to the prehistoric people who walked this route. Number 7. The Balkans Via Egnatia. An important Roman route that linked the Adriatic Sea with Byzantium, present-day Istanbul, was the Via Egnatia. Built in the 2nd century BCE, it promoted cross-Balkan trade, military movements, and cultural interactions. The Via Egnatia, which passed through what is now Albania, North Macedonia, Greece, and Turkey, is still largely intact today. Following in the footsteps of Roman troops and medieval traders, travelers can discover historic routes that lead past ruins, medieval castles, and bustling cities. Number 6. Australia's Old Great North Road. Convict labor was used to build the Old Great North Road in New South Wales, Australia between 1826 and 1836. It was a component of a large-scale project to connect Sydney and the Hunter Valley, creating new opportunities for growth and population. Much of the Old Great North Road is now included in the Australian convict sites, which are recognized as World Heritage Sites. Along the well-maintained portions of the route, visitors can trek or cycle and take in the rough terrain and incredible skill of the prison builders. Number 5. Europe's Amber Road. Amber was transported from the Baltic Sea to the Mediterranean via the historic Amber Road trade route. Trade along this route dates back to the Neolithic era. Amber was prized for its beauty and alleged mystical qualities in antiquity. Many contemporary roads in Central Europe still trace the original courses of the Amber Road despite the fact that these routes have changed over millennia. Historical links to this trade network can be found in cities like Gdansk, Poland, and Vienna, Austria, where tourists can visit museums and archaeological sites that emphasize the significance of the amber trade. Number 4. Persia's Royal Road. During the reign of Darius I in the 5th century BCE, the Persian Empire constructed a significant ancient highway known as the Royal Road. It allowed for quick communication and trade throughout the empire, spanning around 1,600 miles from Sardis, near the Aegean Sea in Turkey, to Susa in modern-day Iran. While most of the Royal Road has vanished into the past, some sections and sites are still visible today. Parts of this route can be traced by modern travelers, who will find remains of a road that formerly united the enormous Persian Empire as well as old way stations. Number 3. Peru's Inca Trail. The Capac Dam, the vast network of roadways constructed by the Inca civilization, includes the Inca Trail. These highways crossed South America and were utilized for trade, communication, and military applications. The most well-known section is the Inca Trail, which leads to Machu Picchu and draws thousands of hikers annually. This trek ends in the magnificent Machu Picchu ruins after passing through a variety of environments, including lush cloud forests and high-altitude passes. Travelers can journey back in time and retrace the paths of ancient Incan pilgrims and couriers by hiking the Inca Trail. Number 2. Asia's Silk Road. The Silk Road is a network of trade routes that connects the East and West, spanning from China to the Mediterranean. It is not a single road. This antiquated trading network, which dates back to the 2nd century BCE, was essential to the flow of goods and ideas in terms of commerce, technology, and culture. there are still certain sections of the Silk Road that are accessible today. For instance, you can explore numerous relics of this extensive network that once facilitated the flow of silk, spices, and other items between continents by traveling to the ancient city of Xi'an in China, which served as the beginning point of the Silk Road. Number 1. The Italian Appian Way. One of the oldest and most significant routes in the ancient Roman Republic is the Appian Way, or Via Appia. Built by Appius Claudius Caecus in 312 BCE, it links southeast Italy's Brindisi with Rome. This road made it easier to transport soldiers and supplies throughout the empire, which was important for both military and commercial reasons. While some of the Appian Way has been preserved as a historical landmark, other sections are still in use as modern roads. Wandering along the ancient stones allows visitors to experience a road that was once filled with the sound of Roman troops and traders. Importance of historic routes. These old roads serve as live links to the past rather than merely being historical relics. They stand for the logistical and technological prowess of past civilizations and how they influence the modern world. We can learn more about the human condition and the connections between other civilizations by conserving and examining these pathways. Engineering wonders. These historic roadways needed a great deal of effort and engineering know-how to build. For instance, the Romans were well known for their methods of constructing roads, which included durable material layers and efficient drainage systems. In a similar vein, the Incas' construction of their highways over difficult Andean terrain demonstrated their inventiveness in navigating natural barriers. Interaction of cultures. Ancient roadways promoted the exchange of ideas, civilizations, and technology in addition to the transportation of products. For example, the dissemination of science, art, and faiths between the East and West was facilitated via the Silk Road. These trails served as avenues for the transfer of culture, enhancing the civilizations they passed through. Obstacles and preservation. Maintaining historic roadways has a number of difficulties. Numerous historic roads are in danger due to factors like natural erosion, agricultural growth, and urbanization. Collaboration between local communities, historians, archaeologists, and governments is necessary to maintain and restore these roadways. Modern infrastructure initiatives sometimes have to strike a compromise between maintaining ancient routes and meeting the demands of modern transportation. For instance, while some of Italy's Appian Way is incorporated into contemporary road networks, other portions are preserved as archaeological sites. The historic routes that are still in use today are evidence of human creativity, tenacity, and a desire to engage with the outside world. These routes were crucial in forming history, from the Roman Empire to the Inca culture. We may pay tribute to the legacy of our ancestors and keep learning from their accomplishments by traveling down and maintaining these routes. These historic roadways provide an interesting trip through time, whether you are a history buff, a frequent traveler, or just interested in the past. They serve as a constant reminder of the value of human endeavor and the eternal desire to travel, trade, and establish connections. We add to the continuing tale of human civilization as we stroll these antiquated routes and learn about the lives of those who came before us. If you enjoyed this journey through history and want more fascinating stories about ancient wonders, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.